in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
Yo.
Welcome for the second intro. A little rusty the boys are.
Yeah, we can't be releasing, hopefully, cross our fingers, hope to die kind of situation
Right.
here.
The
video makes it up. But yeah, we can't be starting off the video chain with a little bit of a crooked camera. Can't be having that.
Can't have that. I mean, if we're going to upload our first YouTube video and it's crooked at some point, it would upset me. Now, is it going to be Spielberg level? Maybe not.
But yeah, let's not go there.
Maybe not. But
Maybe not in the
that's
same
okay.
realm.
A lot of explosions.
Maybe a couple tiers down from that too.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to start somewhere, you know?
How many directors can you name?
Well, apart from Steven Spielberg, yeah, it's kind of about it. It's tough, man.
Tough for you?
Yeah, I don't know any.
Michael Bay?
Yeah, I know Michael Bay. When you say them, I'm going to be like, yep, I know.
I mean, I just wanted to show people how bad your movie knowledge is. Because I don't really know director names. When people list off, oh, this guy directed this and that, it's always to me.
I know there's one that's a little bit more aggressive and gruesome and throws a lot more blood and that kind of stuff. He did like Django. But, you know, it's just one of those things. It's a deep well and nothing's in it. That's my brain. No name, that's for sure.
I have the name, and it's just rattling up here in this emptiness of my head. Yeah, buddy. So back to something we do know, which is football. Both the, not championship games, but what would you call them?
Divisional title games.
Divisional title games. Thank you. Just finished up here. Let's break them down a little bit. Let's get into the Chiefs and the Ravens. Overall, first thoughts, Chiefs are just them.
It's kind of annoying. I find it annoying.
It is annoying because we thought we got past the most dominant player ever to play the game. We got through that wave. And Tom Brady, looking back on it, and same with Patrick Mahomes, are handling it with the most amount of class they possibly can.
Yeah.
In a very unclassy sport, Football doesn't have that level of, little dirt and grime on it, which is why we love it.
For sure. I think there is a sense of like a titlement kind of thing, like a respect. Because you do fight so hard on the gridiron.
Definitely respect.
That then you can, trace your steps back and kind of reset and then look at things maybe in a different view and portray yourself to the media a certain way. But he does it really well, man. And part of it is it's everything that involves the Chief. I love Andy Reid and I love Travis Kelce and I love Patrick Mahomes, but the way that they just get publicized all over the place. And they're in the same division as the Chargers. And we get the Swifties. Then we get the relationship. Then we get, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest player ever. No one can ever make those passes. And it's like, oh my God, that's all you hear about 24/7. Then you got the podcast of New Heights. Shout out New Heights. Great pod over there.
New news.
But it's not new news that the Chiefs are fucking really good. Like they dominate, and it's just like water flowing downhill. They're gonna be in a championship game.
Yeah, it's crazy how much this year they're falling off. They're not gonna be as good this year. They're definitely not as good. They don't have the players. They're not the team. They're not them. Travis Kelce is a step slower. I mean, he's a step slower, but still is just.
It was good.
A big game shows up and a big catch needs to be made. That man makes the catch.
Yeah, and Pat puts it exactly where it needs to be too. So It's just they're a great duo. They're a great team. I was a little bit upset about the Ravens and how they executed. I will have to say, I don't think it's all on the Chiefs winning. I think a lot of it had to do with one, Zay Flowers, the taunting call, which was a little rough. It came at a terrible time, and then the fumble on the goal line and Zay Flowers fumbled it into the end zone, and then the Chiefs get the ball back. They're about ready to score again. huge miscue. Like, I get it. You're trying to reach for the touchdown. Ball security, though, first, right? You got to be telling all your guys that ball security,
One
ball security,
unreal
ball
play
security.
by the defensive player, though.
Yeah, what was his name?
I have no clue.
He's got the
Superman
dreads.
punch.
He's got the dreads, and he came in there just fist flying.
Yeah, I mean, from out of nowhere. I mean, great defensive play. You're right. Zay Flowers made a couple crucial errors. Also, Lamar Jackson, like, historically does not perform well in the playoffs and in the big game.
Yeah, he played really well last week, though. Well, I'll have to say that.
Yeah, the big game came, though.
Yeah.
Didn't really show up the way he was all year.
But I don't think the Ravens did enough to help Lamar Jackson. And let me kind of back this up in a sense, because the Ravens only rushed the ball like half the amount of times as the Chiefs. They put the ball in Lamar's hand a lot. And in defensive coverage sets that they should have been running the football against, even though it may be 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
You have like one of the best run offenses and best offensive lines, and you're not going to trust that your guys can get like 5 to 6 yards. You know, you make an incompletion, and now it's 3rd and 8. It's so much tougher as a play caller to pick up that first down.
Yeah. When you miss like an open throw because he's got to throw all the time, then his confidence starts getting, rattled a bit. Defense could set up on you. Yeah, I feel like the Ravens, need to bolster their run attack. Someone I heard that might be doing that for them is Derrick Henry next year.
Interesting.
I think it would be a great fit for them.
Yeah.
He can run with the best of them, I think, if he has a good offensive line still.
I mean, he's turning water into wine over at Tennessee right now because they have nowhere to go. That man is stuffed in every lane,
every hole. I mean, and historically, there's an offensive lineman on a podcast, Bustin' with the Boys, Taylor Lewan, used to block for Derrick Henry.
Okay.
And he has historically said, if you want Derrick Henry to run his best, which is when he had like 1,000-yard seasons with him and all that stuff, he's got to get a step or two being untouched into the line. You need to get him to the line. He needs that forward momentum. And once he gets that steam going, he's a big man to stop.
Exactly. You need those couple steps, right? You need that momentum to build up.
He can't really give a man a dream shake in the backfield and then explode to a gap.
That's not him. That's not his game.
That's not his game. I think the Ravens can do that. Also, I hear Derrick Henry maybe going to Dallas.
Interesting.
And Pollard being the 1, Derrick Henry being the 2, which is where Pollard found the most success in his run game.
Or flip that, D. Henry in the 1, Pollard in the 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would want Pollard to touch the ball more, though, no?
Yeah, but he's, you maybe like in your 3rd down and 2nd down and long situations, you get Pollard in there.
Yeah,
so you get
Pollard did his best running when Ezekiel Elliott was filling the gaps and pounding the rock.
Was the 1. Yeah. I like that. Is it going to turn out successfully for them? No, probably not, because it's the Dallas Cowboys and they just suck and blow it every single year. But
that is true. But the Chargers didn't. Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big time sign, baby.
Welcome to the Chargers, sir.
Yeah.
Huh?
How about that little highlight clip that the Chargers released today, too?
No, I didn't get to watch it. I sent it to you mainly for me to save for later.
You didn't watch it?
No, I was working. I was supposed to get off my phone. And just didn't see. I wanted to send it to you and watch it later.
The strength that you have to not watch that at that moment, that's pretty impressive.
Papa's
right there.
grinding.
Yeah.
I am officially in grind mode now.
For the job, you have to, right?
I mean, just in general at this point. Like, if I'm not grinding and trying my best at everything I'm doing when I have the time and the opportunity, why am I doing it? That is my new
it's a little motto.
Like thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you can't put 100% in everything all the time. Some things have to take the back burner, some things aren't as important. But for the most part, I would like to put my full effort I can into things I'm doing.
If you're doing it, you might as well give it to your fullest.
Yeah, because, how many more years left until I have more responsibility and it becomes harder to do those things? Because at some point, it's really just family, job, and hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
So at some point, like all the frivolous stuff I want to do is going to fade. But somehow tying this back into football. I mean, Chiefs, I think just, of course, inevitable. And
A little bit of a dynasty we have on our hands here, no?
yeah, I mean, officially. Even if they don't win it, I would say they're a dynasty at this point.
They've been to the Super Bowl 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah, I would say they're a dynasty. Like Patrick Mahomes still very much in his prime. They're going to have to do real magic next year. I think they're going to need a whole new, but now a whole new, like, they need wide receivers. They're going to need another tight end. They're going to need, some
Noah
new,
Gray's not bad. I like Noah Gray.
Yeah.
He's good. He's not like your ace in the hole, but he's good.
He's good. I guess maybe Patrick Mahomes needs to find another ace. You got to get him another ace.
He needs another target, 100%.
Because I guess Tony was listed on the injured report, and he tweeted out that he wasn't injured, and that they weren't going to bring him.
I mean, why? I don't think he's that great. Dude,
Yeah.
it's pretty trash.
And he's just one more person you have to, you feel like you need to throw to, maybe taking reps for somebody who can do it.
You just want to count on the guys that are actually going to catch the ball in a big time moment.
And,
it's great. Kadarius Toney is electric when he has the football in his hands, but my God, that man is just kind of a little bit of a spaz and head case. He drops so many footballs. Football's not hard
to catch.
I mean, it kind of like fits in your
putting it on you.
Yeah, and it kind of fits in your hand perfectly.
Right.
Like the spiral kind of just wedges right in there.
Right in there with those gloves too.
Right, those sticky as hell.
Sticky as hell. But they also, we don't have like a 6'6" man running full speed at you. Like
True.
Imagine me running downhill square at you.
I mean, the problem is when you're a receiver, you have to hope and think that actually doesn't even exist.
That's what you gotta do as a wide receiver. Like that isn't actually
like I'm going to get hit, but I need to catch this ball. So that's what I used to think every time.
I'm going to get hit, but I need to catch this ball.
Yeah. Prepare to get hit and grab it firmly so that when you do get hit, it doesn't rattle out of your hands.
Interesting.
Right, grab it hard with your hands and then you're ready to tuck it.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, that was that one, the divisional playoff. It was a good game. Bum for the Ravens. Moving on to the Lions and Niners. Another really great game setting up, great storylines. I'm happy San Francisco won.
Really?
Yeah, I really like the Lions a lot, and it would have been great to see them in the champ game, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I just felt like, Brock Purdy's story was really important to get him to that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to see a guy who has been drafted last, Mr. Irrelevant, prove himself 2 years in a row now that he wins ball games. I think he's like 20-5, 22-5, somewhere around there.
20-5.
And the question marks are still there.
Yeah, it's wild. And then there are always accusations being like, well, he's got the best receiving core. He's got a great line. He's got Christian McCaffrey. And it's like, yeah, but you still got to make the right decisions.
Right.
And you still got to make the throws.
And it was cool to see him scramble. Him personally, making a play out of nothing.
He was balling.
Yeah.
He was cooking.
And does he have the same arm strength as Patrick Mahomes? No. I don't know many people that do. The balls don't have the same zip on it when he is scrambling. So it does, I think it gives you the illusion of...
But look at Peyton Manning, dude.
Right.
I mean, the man had, let's be honest, very subpar arm strength.
Yeah,
Dude couldn't throw it more than 40 to 50 yards down the
but
field.
hit you the Omaha.
Right.
Square right zig route.
Yeah, right.
And he somehow finds a corner of your defense you weren't even paying attention to.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think he has my favorite pre-snap cadence.
I mean,
He coined it. They made commercials of that thing.
No one had any idea what Omaha or pre-snap cadence really was as a common football person.
Mm-hmm. He kind of popularized it, huh?
I would say so. They say Tony Romo was the guy who really started the popularize it.
What was his? Oh, okay.
But I would say Peyton Manning to me.
I have to look that up.
Him and Tom Brady, when they were just calling everything on the lines, and it was just so tactical. That was some of the best football.
It was pretty elite. And you got Aaron Rodgers doing the same thing as well over there.
Yeah.
Not as many audibles.
No, I just felt like Tom Brady got a call, and then they set up that formation.
He was like, nah.
Then it's definitely not it.
Right. He always had the ability to call out of something at any given time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't even think when Peyton Manning went to the line, I don't even think they even gave him a play.
Yeah, I bet
You know what I
look
mean?
at the defense, they gave him a base coverage that maybe he likes. A base offensive. They're like, this is what you kind of like the feel of. We'll start here.
Couple formations, and then you can just call it from there.
Right. They give him like a basic run with a formation he likes.
I don't
and he
know.
goes.
I would love to see a documentary on that kind of football and a little bit more of the strategy behind it, but I don't think that's going to happen because no one's going to release that kind of strategic stuff.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube who does Madden, and he used to be a backup.
I've seen this
for
guy.
Green Bay and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching him break it down. Obviously, he's on a very small scale to what Peyton Manning probably was doing. But I think it would be cool for football to show the other side. They do Hard Knocks, right? Which does a great job of showing the grind, how much to prepare, the storylines. But let's start getting the X and O's of football a bit more.
Yeah,
Like
I would love that.
What you're trying to do, each person from their perspective, a quarterback coming into the quarterback room, talking about it, and making it more like able to listen, not so much lingo, like why, zig, Mike.
Yeah.
Like that all can be very confusing.
Like you're kind of just trying to figure out just the basis of what's the point, what's your job, what are you trying to do in this play? Like what is your job? Yeah, I agree, buddy. I hope that they bring out something like that. But on the flip side of it, I was kind of pulling for the Lions to win because I love Dan Campbell and what he was able to do over with the Lions. I just feel like that program has just really, really been struggling for so long, and it would have been cool to see them. I like the way they play the game. It's fun. They got great two backs, great line. Cool to see Jared Goff kind of get back over there because they ditched him over at the Rams,
No,
to
it's
go
super
get
cool.
to go get a Super
great
Bowl.
Story.
So I guess the whole point was I wasn't really upset either way because I was watching the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And they were going down the line of what Brock Purdy has achieved over the last 2 seasons when he's played. Yeah, 20-5, and that includes when he tore his UCL last year. So that's an L. So technically he's 20-4 because he didn't even play in that game. Yeah, leads the league in against the blitz for attempts and yards and completion percentage and touchdown ratio, and it's just what has this man not done? He should be one of the top candidates for MVP. Isn't it so silly that he literally lost his MVP race when he threw 3 picks in week 16 or 17? Do you remember seeing that? Was it against the Ravens, I think?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy. And that's what thrusted Lamar into the MVP
status.
Right.
No, I think it's Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's probably going to be Patty Mahomes now. Hard to say, not. Travis Kelce, if he plays halfway decent, will win MVP of the Super Bowl. You think
so?
You put that down. Put that as a future.
Way.
Guaranteed. Are you joking me? He goes 100 yards, which historically in big games, 100 yards, you can almost guarantee above 80 from Travis Kelce in big games.
Okay.
Right? He's going to go big catch game.
9 catches.
Right. And he's going to have a tutty. Bare minimum.
Okay.
Right. Patrick Mahomes is going to have a great game. Don't get me wrong. But Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, MVP Super Bowl, that storyline fits too well.
Yeah, it does.
Travis Kelce
wins, go ahead and fade us on this one if you don't believe us, but I'm down to make that pick.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'm down. Because it is a storyline and it is branding and blah blah blah.
Well, there's years I could be wrong because I'm a giant idiot, but he hasn't won one yet, right?
Typically, the quarterback of the team.
Wins.
Yeah,
right. So he hasn't won one yet, and you could say he's just as important as Patrick Mahomes on that team at times.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Right now, he's his best option.
It's sometimes maybe his only option if Rashee Rice is taking a little bit of a breather. His only option out there.
So we're talking that. Now, is he anywhere near as important as Patrick Mahomes? No.
Right. But if the dude goes off for 10 catches, 142 yards, and 2 tutties.
Hard to say he doesn't deserve the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that.
I bet you Patrick Mahomes would talk to somebody. He seems like that one of those dudes.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. He's got
gotten-
he's got a massive contract, MVP of the Super Bowl. It
won't be the last one he wins.
No.
This might be Travis Kelce's one only.
Yeah. It's a good point. He kind of has that pool, you know?
I bet you if Patrick Mahomes walked up to whoever hands out the MVP, the Lombardi trophy,
he's going to give it over to him. Mm-hmm. He might.
He's like, go throw my boy.
We'll take that dub on the technicality.
The Swifties boy.
I will have to say, though, Travis is going to have his hands full with that matchup against the 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers look really solid. I'm really excited to see them play against the Chiefs. I think they're going to come out, and they're not going to start slow. They're going to pound the Chiefs. They're going to absolutely
clap them cheeks, dude.
I think
get up in there.
They're going to just let McCaffrey just take all the way off Purdy's shoulders.
That's what they should do.
First, like, give him a good first quarter run game. Lots of runs. You burn the Jets on McCaffrey. You held them all through the whole season. Didn't really get hurt very badly. It's his last game that he's going to show up.
This man's, I mean, it's put your dick on the table. It's time to win a Super Bowl.
This guy can show up.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to ball. And I think if I had to pick a winner, I'd pick the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think I'd
It's
pick
hard.
the Chiefs.
It's just the intangibles that the Chiefs kind of had. They just have a knack for winning.
Andy Reid's such a great coach.
Yeah, they just know how to do it.
They're going to come out with some stupid play we've never seen before.
It's also no knock to Kyle Shanahan because I also think that he's a top 3 to 4,
Easily.
coach in the NFL.
They're both great coaches, but Andy Reid just might be the GOAT.
Yeah, he's really good.
I would much rather have Andy Reid over Belichick.
Yeah, of course. He's not going to have a job next year.
I don't think people want him.
No, I don't think so either.
Because he wants the GM role. So
yeah, and we're like, bro,
team.
we saw what you did over with the Patriots, man. Like it was tough sledding over there for the last 6 years.
You haven't done shit with them,
right? I saw a stat for Andy Reid, and in all of his years coaching for the Eagles and now the Chiefs, he makes it to the divisional playoff game, conference championship. He's done it 43% of the time for his seasons.
I mean, the man's a GOAT.
What?
I mean, Donovan McNabb, amazing quarterback, not GOAT level.
No. Just a great coach.
Just a great coach.
I heard that it was some rumors that he might be retiring.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Andy Reid retired, that Kelsey would go out too.
I feel like he's kind of got that dog in him, though.
Yeah, but, maybe he's serious with Swifty. Maybe, the podcast is doing great. It's cooking. His brother's basically already said he's retiring.
Yeah, it's official. So
I don't see why he wouldn't. I do think he's a step way slower than he used to be.
Yeah, it does. It's finally I've finally have seen that this year because I kept thinking, dude, when is this man going to slow down? When is this man going to slow down a little bit? Because he's like 33, 32, just still shredding everyone.
I mean, the man, and he also looks like he's playing with the chip right now. Heavy, and he just kind of looks like he's wanting to fight everybody. He put the dog face on real quick.
Yeah, he did.
And maybe that's his role he feels like he has to do for the team this year. Like, grew a beard out. He's the nasty, gruesome.
Sure. Well, it's whatever it takes, I guess, right?
Yeah, and it's working for them. They kind of got nasty, and they started to work. And you don't even assume the Chiefs are like the evil villains either. Like, that's the storyline that they're portraying, but in reality, they haven't done anything that makes them like they're not really dirty players.
They just like to play with a little chip on their shoulder. Yeah, a little passion for the game.
And hey, guess what? They should. They just keep winning.
Right.
I would rather not see dominant football like this again, but I don't think we have a choice.
I mean, they just know how to get it done.
Wherever Patrick Mahomes is going to be, there's going to be some sort of team following.
Yeah, he's really good, man. And it's really, I'm ready for a little change at the tide, or at least someone to maybe combat him a little bit. I thought Josh Allen would actually take down the Chiefs actually this year.
I think they're the best chance of anyone right now.
I really thought the Ravens did, they just really didn't really put their A game out there. It turned the ball over too many times. 3 turnovers. It's tough, man. It's tough to win a football game, especially when you're about to score a touchdown deep in your zone, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like I'm with you. I truly don't know what the outcome of this game is going to be. I want to say that the 49ers should be favored, and they are. But you got that element of Patrick Mahomes. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. It should be a good one. Maybe a little barbecue action or something like that for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm down, buddy.
We can do that.
Let's smoke some ribs.
Pulled pork is so easy.
Pulled pork is easy. Or we, probably do barbecue. I'll make a mac and cheese.
I'll make my slaw like last time.
Perfect.
Boom.
I mean, is there anything better than that? Switching gears here. The Australian Open just finished up, and as we know, we are big tennis fans when it comes to the majors. Sinner won versus
Medvedev.
Medvedev. I said it right. There it is.
Sorry, I was just talking, so I just talked over you.
No, you're good. You're good, baby. Sinner and Medvedev. Sinner played great, lost the first 2 sets, came back storming.
Yeah, dude.
Just balled out, which, do you think maybe he did that on purpose? He's like, I'm going to give Medvedev a good hard fight these first 2 sets. Let him run around, let him think he has it, and then I'll turn my legs on.
Yeah, because the whole storyline was Medvedev playing 2 5-setters before the championship, and he had like 5 or 6 more hours of court time than Sinner had.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of time playing really high-level competitive tennis. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it certainly looked like he started to figure out the match, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
I was locked in for that tourney.
You're going to have to break it down a little bit for me because I watched the first 2 sets, woke up, watched the little highlights.
Okay, gotcha.
But it looked like I knew the big storyline, court time. But Sinner, could be the next guy up there.
He does. He looks like he's got it. He looks like he's got it.
Yeah.
And we've ever since, I think it was 2022 Wimbledon when he was facing off against Carlos Alcaraz in the semifinal.
Yeah.
The one match that we watched together, kind of looked like he had it for the last couple of years, and now he's 21. Looks like he's grown into his body a little bit more. He's hitting the ball. He's more composed. I actually enjoy watching him play as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's not super cocky. He's kind of got this like Roger Federer type aura about him. He's very calm, very flowy. He moves really well, serves well, but doesn't do anything like crazy good. He just plays everything really solid.
I hear his running forehand is pretty amazing.
It's running forehand, yeah. He can put some zip on that thing.
They say that's like his go-to shot, and they say when that's open, it makes the rest of the game a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because he gets so much zip and accuracy on it that he wins so many points that he should technically almost be out of.
Yeah.
He's so out of position and just turns his out of position into a positive because it opens up a whole new angle of the court.
There were plenty of times where Medvedev would hit a ball to Sinner's backhand and he'd kind of run and chase it down. And Medvedev would hit it all the way back cross court on him after Sinner hit it down the line. Right. So it's a very sharp angle, and Sinner would just take off running and just rip the forehand down the line or sharp cross court for winners all the time.
Yeah, it seemed to be like what he wanted to have happen. That's all legs too. He's like, cool, I have my legs. Here we go.
I think that's why the match, if it was going to go the distance, I was going to go Sinner's way the whole time, because it's just such a physical game. And you can tell if you lose any pop in your step, if you lose any like of that jumping explosive mobility and you start becoming a half step slow, I mean, you're going to get cooked. You're going to get worked out there.
And it's really tough with tennis because in golf, individual sport, right? If you can't hit a golf ball, like reality, not everyone's watching you. It's not like an arena, right? Where all eyes are just on one person.
Right.
And you're struggling because that happens in golf rounds. You know, the ebbs and flows of a golf round. You gotta ride the highs, stay calm, play the right game, not start pushing,
right,
and overexerting your efforts, because then you'll make a mistake and that will hurt the confidence.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And also when the low happens, you know, it's coming, gotta get up, back up. It's gotta be tough when you're at your low and you're about a half a step slow. You're not popping this ball the same way.
Yeah.
You know the game's slipping, and there's just everyone's watching you.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling.
And then you're just alone on this island with this shark on the other end.
No timeouts.
Right.
No coaches.
Right. You're just by yourself,
Yeah.
screaming at your coaching box like, I can't touch the ball. I can't see the ball. Like,
it's bloody murder out there. And
It
then
just
like you
seems
feel
like you're-
and you put in all that hard work and the game slips and there's nothing you can do. You know, and it's brutal. And it's crazy because they mentioned that a couple of times, like what a crazy sport this is. Because there's a lot of downtime in between points too.
right.
And a lot of it is what the mentality of what maybe they should be doing, how they should be feeling, what they should be pushing or conserving your energy, setting up certain shots for later in the match as well. It's very strategic. It's almost like a chess game in a sense, but you're also trying to factor in your physicality into it.
Right.
And maybe save some of your better shots later, not give them away too early, because then if you're banking on that, he's going to be sitting on them later. So it's very interesting. I love watching the whole strategy behind the whole thing, and it looked like it was Sinner's match the entire time when he came out and won the tiebreak in the third set. That was huge.
Right.
And once that happened, it was kind of it was a wrap. It was just going to go. It was going to go 3-4 hours, and just Medvedev just didn't have that gas in him. And Sinner was just playing way too solid at that point. You know, he just wasn't messing up. When your legs go, you also can't get your feet perfect to the tennis ball every time
Right.
too. It's just like in basketball, you get tired playing like your fourth game of the tournament. You're gonna start grabbing at hands. You're gonna start picking up a lot of ticky-tack fouls. It's just like that in any
Yeah,
sport,
you're
you
just
know.
gonna throw your arms out, pray to God you're not getting where you need to get.
Right.
And
You're just gassed. You can't
you're
play
just
like
not.
you just can't play like you normally do. So
And you're just out there on an island,
yeah.
and it's quiet, and everyone's watching.
Yeah.
That's what I don't love about individual sports. Golf, I don't mind because obviously I don't have a crowd watching me. But golf is terrifying when you're putting in front of a bunch of people for a win, and you pull it straight left. That actually happened at the Farmers Open. Forget the guy who
It
won.
did.
He was
Are you serious?
2 shots up on 16
This past weekend?
on Sunday.
I didn't see this.
2 shots up, birdie putt, basically to win the tournament, right?
Okay.
2 shots up. He's on 16
For a birdie?
for a birdie, and straight pulls it and puts it like 3 feet past the hole.
Oh no, really?
Like not even close. Like it was a pretty okay. Like the birdie putts were pretty easy at that point from what I was hearing from the commentators, where he left it and just straight pulled it. And what's terrifying about that,
So then you're gonna make the next one, right?
you gotta make the next 2.
Yeah.
You gotta go 17, which is a pretty okay hole. Wasn't crazy difficult from what I remember.
It's the longish par 4.
Dog leg left,
Yeah, I do remember that
bunker on the right.
Yeah.
It was a double overhead bunker. It felt like
Right. And then 18's
18's tough.
yeah.
Really tough.
It's a birdieable hole though. It's par 5.
But if you put it anywhere in the rough, then you gonna lay up
Yeah, you lay
before
up.
the water?
Yeah, then you lay up to
I think
90.
Par 4, isn't it?
Par 5.
Is it a par 5?
Yeah, it's par 5.
Yeah. So, anyways, he was.
But if your playing partner hits a great drive, then they can get home in 2. That's the big advantage.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a par 5, but anyways, on 18 he puts one in the rough and has to hack out of it, and he puts a perfect ball to whatever it was, like 10 feet, and then 2 putts for par.
Okay. Nice.
So won the tournament. Anyways, so going back to Australia, I know we got a tangent on that, but it was cool to see Sinner win. I think it's really exciting to have multiple great players in swing right now. I think the changing of the guard is going to be great because I don't think the real changing of the guard actually happened. I think Federer and Nadal ruined multiple generations of talents. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic ruined multiple generations of talent.
Yeah. I mean, just like they just rained terror. It was the first time since like 2002
Right.
since one of the big three was not in the Australian Open final.
Right. And I think that
Or something
speaks
crazy like
volumes
that.
to like these tennis players that maybe missed out on their prime because they were just getting dominated
Yeah, dude.
by three. Like maybe they didn't miss out on their prime. but maybe
Djokovic has won the Australian Open 10 times.
Yeah, I
10.
saw his little board walk by.
I'm like, oh my God. Oh, yeah, the headshots of like the
Yeah,
people
where they
who
show
won
how
it.
many times in a row. His is just 10. Just like it's crazy looking. And
Just see a Djokovic out there. It's nuts.
I think maybe when you're that good for that long, like a Tiger Woods almost, you don't, with tennis, you know, two of those go to be in it most of the time. It'd be those three guys filtering, and every once in a while you throw an occasional bum out there,
Right.
and then he'd get clapped up. But I think they didn't get that championship experience where they played in a lot of chances to win a final. So when they're actually in a final to win it, maybe
They're shitting their pants.
They're shitting their pants.
Oh, yeah. It's the whole realm. It's the whole mental game as well.
right.
You put a guy that's never been in a major championship in a final against a big three
Right.
at Arthur Ashe Stadium for the U.S. Open. That's a lot. It's game over.
Yeah, then they already know walking in. Now you have a young kid like Sinner you're going against across the court, and you're thinking to yourself, he's already been here before.
Yeah,
He's won a major.
I know.
Then you playing against
You just really hope that you can lock.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. You can really just
Albatross.
Alcaraz.
Oh, there you go.
But you were just coming up with nicknames, though.
I was.
Yeah.
Alcatraz, Albatross.
Carlito.
Yeah, he. You're playing against him on the other side of the net.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking good too.
I just feel like they've ruined generations of players.
Yeah.
But new generation coming in.
I think this new generation that's coming in is pretty special. You know, we've got who's the other guy? The German guy, and I'm blanking right now.
Oh no, I'm gonna put you on a
We're gonna have to rain check. He's got long
Rain check.
He's got long hair.
Not Medvedev.
Not
Sinner.
No,
Albatross.
no, not him. Not Carlito.
Not Carlito.
He's a German dude. He's got longish type hair. Then you have
Rude.
that was the other guy I was thinking of, Rude.
Mm-hmm.
He's super young as well. But
There's a lot of ballers out here right now.
a lot of like 22-year-olds, a lot of 23-year-olds,
Which
really
is
good,
great.
Which is really good.
Tennis
So
is in good hands right now. I think there's a lot of
is.
people who can win. I don't know if we're ever going to see a dominant run like that in tennis with those three guys ever
it's gonna
again.
be tough, man. It's crazy. I mean, they've got like the three most all-time major wins, and it's like they played in the same era. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was like every time it was one of those.
They're
three.
all three on the leading list for the most major wins in their career. Like they played at the same time.
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. But I don't know. Our U.S. men's guys, we got to step it up.
We're not looking very great. We're starting. Fritz is our hope right now. I thought Tiafoe was going to be our guy, but he doesn't look too great. I mean, he's looking good, but not.
Yeah, I started watching Breakpoint, and they're covering him in his season last year. So I'm curious to see him evolve as a player off the court a little bit.
Yeah,
Because it seems like there's a little bit of meat left on the table with his game. Because his game's solid.
definitely.
His game is good. Is it major level ready and good? I don't know. I'm watching some of these other guys like Sinner and Carlos, the two mainly. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's on the same level.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely train. They're both young. Fritz, I think, is like 26-ish.
He's not very young anymore.
He made the ATP finals last year.
Yeah.
So top 8. So I don't know. We'll see. I think a little run and a little magic could happen. Fritz looks like he might need to play with a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder. I think that can help him out for sure.
Yeah, a little less. I've done it. I'm here.
A little bit more of an FU mentality. I'm here for dubs.
Right. Like I haven't really accomplished what I wanted to accomplish yet.
Yeah.
Which he might have. He might have won the Indian Wells.
When he took down a doll with like a torn knee or
could
whatever.
have been his that's what could have been his goal. I was like, dude, all I really want to do in my career is win the Indian Wells.
Yeah. They cover him in Breakpoint though.
Right.
In like the last episode that I just watched. And he's having a little bit of a mental issue at the moment that they were talking about.
Yeah.
How he finished in the ATP finals and he should
I don't know if I do that with the court, bud.
He should be We're living life on the edge here. We're living life dangerously. Cut the audio. Should I take scissors to it next?
No. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, he's having a mental issue.
And how he's ranked in the top 8, he doesn't want to lose the top men's slot. He is having issues because he's supposed to be in the quarterfinals for like every tournament. And like,
right.
I don't know if that's just him playing it up, but it seems like he's having some confidence issues, which we know on individual sports is a toughie.
Yeah, tennis also has the biggest babies in sports.
Yeah, they're head cases out there.
Wow,
man.
they are head cases, man. I get it's a tough sport. I just claimed how hard it could be, but also these people are crazy.
They are.
Like, and I get it because you don't really know, like, day to day where you're going to be at. Like, you could win, you go home.
Well, let's make an argument, dude, because tennis versus golf, they're very individual sports. Yes, they're a little bit more physically demanding and different. However, the mentality of it is kind of the same. Things are not going according to plan. Are you going to stick with the plan or are you going to derail and just start blaming everything else?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you do that in golf, you're going to shoot 82 out on a tour and you're going to look like a joke and everyone's going to laugh at you. I mean, you can kind of do that in tennis, but like, I don't know, you're just like taking an L, like just directly to someone. And then the players seem like they just don't handle it very well in the moment.
Yeah, they don't really handle adversity very well.
Yeah.
And I get it's because they're running so hot and they want to win so bad and their competitive drive is 20x mine. But at the same time, it
doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They should take up Nick
Dunlop's coach?
Yeah. Dunlop's coach. We moved.
Is that the same dude that does Fixing Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I started following him on Instagram. Don't ask me what his name is.
I don't know his name either, but we'll shout him out another time. So changing topics here. Andrew's 30th birthday just passed. We went to the American Express in Palm Springs, which is a decent golf tournament. Some top names there. I wouldn't say it's a premier tournament by any stretch of the imagination, but it's one that people look forward to. It's one of my favorite ones to watch all year.
It's the one that kickstarts the PGAs. Yeah, exactly.
Really gets a season to roll out. I think it's, the amenities there are great. We've never seen a golf tournament live. And so just so happens for the first time in how many years, Andrew?
32.
32 years, an amateur won, Nick Dunlop, since Phil Mickelson won it 32 years ago.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Like an amateur winning any event in the PGA Tour, not just the American Express.
Right.
Like, that's the last time that's happened. That's how hard it is for, like, a no-name to come in and kind of
There's, like, 35 tourneys a year, 40 tourneys a year.
Right.
I mean, that's whatever. You kind of do the math on that one real quick.
The odds,
800 tournaments.
Yeah. And it's just unreal that he won. I mean, we went to Thursday. No, we didn't. We went Friday, and we went Sunday. And when we left Friday, he wasn't. I think he was in the top, but he wasn't leading.
Yeah, I kind of forget exactly where he was at, but he was definitely in top two. Top two, yeah.
And then he just came out firing Saturday, taking the lead.
Yeah, didn't he shoot 62 on Saturday?
Yeah, something ridiculous. Which, when you shoot 62 like that, you got to know you're not going to shoot that tomorrow, which almost helps your mental game, right? Because if I shoot like, let's say I shoot a 77 tomorrow, which is one below my best ever, I would be like, 77 is doable again. If I push and shoot that, I can do that again. I don't think a professional golfer, I think they've done it enough times where they shoot something that low, they're like,
reset. I'm just going to do it again.
I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to have another good day.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about a 60-something again.
No.
They probably know, like, that's just that happens very few times in my life. I will go out and shoot a professional score that low on a PGA course that historically at one point was the top 10 toughest course. Not that way anymore. These boys are just clapping this course left and right.
It's not even close, dude.
Yeah.
That's when I realized how good these guys are at golf, and I'm like, holy shit. Man.
Yeah, because it used to be the distance used to kill you on this course. It was distance and awful places to miss. And now it's like, because the bunkers are double overhead, and there's water in certain positions.
There's also like
all of it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter, and the rough is so short. There's just they don't get penalized.
Right. So they can just mash driver. They're way down there. Worst case scenario, they take a club that's higher out of the bunker that they're all strong enough to hit out of now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the water is not even a factor because they're so long. And all the water is like short left, short right. It's not like behind the holes really, besides the one island hole.
I mean, you typically get, and there was actually perfect scoring conditions, like 0 wind.
And it was somewhat cold in the morning, a little rainy.
Yeah. Greens were really receptive.
Right. Because normally it's really dry out there and it's really, really fast.
Yeah.
So like everything just got soaked up perfectly. It was probably really easy putting conditions for them. But that course historically also plays on 2 different courses that are the easiest courses on tour on average. So it's just a birdie fest out there. I mean, truly and utterly just crazy how many birdies you're seeing.
Winning score was what, 29 under?
Yeah.
Something like
something ridiculous. Seeing these people swing in person is unreal. How smooth and easy they're swinging. And even if I swing that smooth and easy, the distance of what they're getting to is crazy.
Yeah.
Because if I'm swinging smooth and easy, I'm not hitting it 305 on my driver.
So let's talk. I want to talk about like what you noticed or what impressed you the most watching live for the first time. Because we did a good amount of walking on Friday. We followed Xander Schauffele, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Scotty Scheffler. I mean, you name a lot of the big guys. We were following them at like 10 feet, 15 feet away from them. At one point, right when we walked in, we were walking 15 feet down the middle of the fairway with Scotty Scheffler. I'm like, this is pretty freaking cool now. Pretty cool.
Pretty crazy. Brings a smile on my face even thinking about
nobody even really around there. Yeah. Also, we lucked out because we got great weather.
Yeah,
it was just gorgeous. It was like 70.
Stopped raining immediately when we were out there and then started again as we left.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, perfect.
And it only rained on Saturday when we weren't there.
Right.
You're just kind of hanging out watching football and just kicking it all day.
Which was great.
So what impressed you the most? Like did anything stand out? You already mentioned that it was the tempo of their swings, and I would have to agree with you there. But I feel like I can kind of see that on TV sometimes.
Yeah.
They never look like they're lashing at it though.
No.
That's the one thing that I pick up on TV that you don't really see in person. Like it just looks like a slightly more sped up, more aggressive swing, but it's not like a herky-jerky lash. Like if they're upping their speed, it doesn't look like a big change.
I mean, there's so many things about it that I noticed, but some of the ones that stand out to me, the distance.
Yeah.
We watched very few driver swings just for the nature of how the course lays out and where we're walking. Because we're going to go in the bad parts of golf tournaments after this. But the driving distance for me was crazy. Or the distance with their irons and their wedges and how they can do all that is just beyond me.
Yeah.
Like watching them hit a driver and it doesn't even look like went that far and you're thinking about it and you're walking after it and you're like, bro, this guy hit all the way down here. And it's not like one person that's like 1-2 right next to each other.
Yeah, they're all mashing
2 yards ahead, 2 yards behind. They're all mashing driver.
Yeah.
Every putt or chip around the green looked like it had some sort of chance at one point.
That was the one thing that I was going to say that stood out. Almost every putt, some chips when they were in a compromised position, looked like they were trying to put it within 3 feet or try to make it.
Yeah, I mean, if they were in a compromised position, also where they're putting the ball, like chipping wise, like perfect spots with a little bit of check. It's like trundling down the hill. All of it's pretty crazy when it comes to that stuff. Putting, obviously. And then when they were in trouble, which wasn't very often.
Yeah, it wasn't often at all.
And most of the time isn't crazy trouble either. It's like slightly off the path.
Yeah.
Maybe underneath a tree.
I think that's why this course plays so easy, though. There's not a lot of trees. There's not a lot of long rough. You just got to avoid hitting a bad shot into the water, which these guys don't really hit a lot of bad shots. They're like, okay, if there's water on the left, I'm going to favor the right side of the green and maybe play like a straight ball to fade. So if I miss, then I'm going to be missing the green to the right. I'm going to easy up and down, you know?
Yeah, like it was so clear that like the whole bailout right thing. If they really want to make that course harder, layer that place with bunkers on the right or make thicker rough. But they had to change the course because the PGA Tour players were complaining about how tough it was at one point, and they had to make it easier.
Yeah.
Because it was playing ridiculous to go out and do.
I definitely noticed the workability with a lot of their shots. There was like a clear distinction in their mind for the tee shots that we did see, where I'm starting this ball, how I'm going to work this ball, where I want it to finish. And you can see it with their setup and with their like intention without even hearing them talk. Because you can kind of, like on the par 3, right, the one over the water on number 7 or 8, on the Nicholas side that we watched on Friday.
Which was one of the coolest holes.
It was great. We could stand literally 20 feet behind, directly behind Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, all those guys, Zach Johnson.
Hearing them talk to their caddies a little bit.
Yeah. And it was so clear what number they were going for, where, like, what part of the bunker they were starting it over, because the flag was kind of in the back left, and you couldn't miss left because there was a drop-off. Remember that?
Right.
So it was very, very clear what they were trying to do, and they would execute it 9 times out of 10. If there was a little bit miss, they would always favor the more up and down favor side. You know?
Yeah, it was always very intentional what they were doing. Missing wasn't really crazy.
Yeah,
and when they did miss, they recovered extremely well.
And the other thing that I noticed was the tee heights actually on their tee shots, like how high they were teeing the ball up. Remember when Scotty on number 18 on the Nicholas course, we walked all the way out. It was the first tee shot that we saw, and you even pointed out, wow, look at how low he's teeing that ball up.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Almost was like a 3-wood height with his driver, but he wanted to hit a punch cut because it was a dog leg right and water all down the right on number 18.
Right.
So I've never seen someone tee it up that low before. And I guess you never really see that on TV because I'm sure
it's always the same height.
Yeah, maybe you just can't see it that well.
Right.
I feel like I would notice that though. It's like almost on the grass, you know? It's like
be like it was really
slow.
like a
middle of the ball is in the middle of the club face on the driver.
Right, which isn't very common. Normally like the rule of thumb is a half a ball above the driver.
Exactly. So that made me think a little bit as well. Like if I ever want to hit like a little bit of like a controlled like cutter ball, I'm just gonna try teeing up lower and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think about like all the things they do. It's not all because they're just so much better mechanically, which they are, and everything they're doing swinging wise. Like that's not the true difference. They also know these tips and tricks and maneuvering certain shots out of their game that we don't know because they're constantly hitting golf shots. Like actually, if I just really twist the grip this way and just close my club face slightly, same swing, guaranteed 3-yard draw every time. And it's like, oh, like that's much easier for them to do because it's like the same swing. They can change certain things.
Right.
I can't do that because my swing's almost always different. And the way I'm impacting the ball is almost always different.
Yeah. It's their move to the golf ball is so clean. Their transition is so pure. Yeah, that was really cool to see. So those are the few things that I noticed. Did you notice anything else? I just noticed
they're all small.
Yeah, they are pretty small.
They're all small boys.
Yeah. Tell you that much. Scotty's by far the tallest one out there, and Tony,
Scotty. There's some, there's some. They all look athletic, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they do.
They don't look like they're just golfers who go and sit in your golf cart and drink beer. These guys are athletic. They're not like jacked or yoked out of their minds, but they go work out. You definitely can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if you've never walked 18 holes before on a course that is a lot of undulation.
The course is relatively flat, too.
Right. Like, you're going to be gassed. I can tell you, without a doubt, you walk Torrey Pines, you're tired at the end of Torrey Pines.
Yeah. Trekking through the sand and the long rough, looking for your golf ball. And you're not just walking the yardage. You're also walking off yardages for shots. You're also walking all over the green to, like, check out where your ball is to get lines and, like, moving off to the side and I mean, you're playing, what if you play at 10 o'clock and you play from 10 to 3 out in the cooking sun for 5 hours?
Yeah, it's a sport because of that.
Yeah, it's just different. It's a different kind of exertion, right?
Yeah, and it's also you have to use your brain the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lineup DN like, okay, all I need to do is hold this man on this gap. That's
set
my
the
one
edge.
job.
Right.
One hit, go, set the edge, done. It's like, I got to do this. I got to think about this. I got to do this with my hands. This lie gives me this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a blast. Great 30th birthday.
It was fun. We made a banger of a meal, dude.
You know what? I thought
it was
think
great.
I was so tired at that point, or whatever was going on with me. Probably drunk and like out of whatever mind I was in.
Yeah.
I think the burritos tasted amazing. I think I was just tasting it all day though.
Yeah. I think it was the best thing that we've made before.
I really enjoyed it. So we made Mediterranean burritos.
Mm-hmm. Mediterranean style burritos, baby.
No, I think we need to make it a little bit more fusion. In that case, we need to add like pico next time to it.
Yeah, more fusion.
Like more fuse. Like we do the burrito, the marination meats and stuff like that. The rice from, like a Chipotle, but basmati rice crossover. I love the hummus instead of beans. Was delicious.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Tzatziki over sour cream, delicious.
100%.
Some of the pickled items we threw in there were great. Like the pepperoncinis in there were awesome. I thought it was really, really tasty.
That was really good.
Did a great job. I mean, I never doubt we're going to make something great, though, buddy.
It was fun. Yeah, that's true. It was fun. I like doing that little bit of a fusion and seeing one of our, our little foodie talks kind of come to fruition there.
Our next little food talk we got, though, which we're going to cook up for people, is the Chicago dog.
Hold on now.
We want
to leak that out?
Papa wants to sell them. I know. I thought of it. I Googled it. No one's done it.
I think it's a great call. You've heard it here first. Let's document this.
I mean, if the 12 people don't steal our ideas who listen to this, the Chicago dog, right? Running it through the garden has 1,000 toppings on it.
And it's a mess.
It's tomatoes and a full thing of pickle and sports peppers and onions and relish and celery salt. It's like filled to the top, full of toppings.
Yeah, it's a mess.
My thought is, why don't we dice everything and put it over there like a pico, and we strain all the juice out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you just
concentrate all the flavors,
just the flavors,
and you get all of the. You get a little bit in every single bite, and it's not going all over the place.
And you put the relish in there still, if you want the relish. I'm skipping on the relish.
I'm not a relish guy.
Yeah, but if people, you gotta put it out there. So if people want to put the relish on it, you can. And
you're stupid if you do.
Yeah, I don't. What's the point of the relish?
I don't get it, dude.
It's like weird, shitty pickles.
It's weird, sweet mush.
Yeah, why the relish? I don't know.
You got mustard.
Yeah, mustard and ketchup.
Yeah, there's your sweet with the ketchup.
And then you like relish. Yeah. But anyways, not my vibe. Not my vibe
Dill
at all.
pickles. 100%.
Right.
I'm down for that. But then you got the mustard. So, and then you got pickled onions, which is honestly even a better situation.
True. You are not wrong there, my friend.
It's not going on a Chicago dog, though.
Right.
But I love the idea, though, buddy.
It is a great idea. So going back a little bit on one more thing I want to touch on before we sign off here. Back on the golf train. So Nick Dunlop, young guy, obviously, won the U.S. Amateur before this, and now has a couple options. With winning this tournament, he gets to either go pro now, or he gets to wait until 2026, I believe, when he graduates college.
He's that young?
Yeah, he's like a sophomore in college.
I thought he was like at least a junior.
No, I think he's a sophomore.
Damn.
I think he's 20, 21. He's 20 because he couldn't have a beer. That's why I brought him a milkshake.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like on the younger side of 20.
Graduates at 18, 2 years of college.
Yeah, he's in sophomore.
He's going maybe sophomore going to his junior year.
Yeah.
Because this year he's got to play, so then one more year, 2025, so 2026 being his first year out of college.
Jesus Christ. Well, he's going pro.
I mean, if he's smart.
He is. No,
Okay,
he announced it.
cool. I
Yeah, he
didn't see
announced
it.
it. He did announce
talk
it.
about that, like what you would do, because now there's a little bit of
I mean, I'd go.
you
Kidding me?
I mean you go, but now let's just talk a little bit on the hypothetical side why you wouldn't go. NIL deal, so he gets money.
Okay.
Boosters probably would pay. He's from Alabama, plays at Bama.
Yeah.
I guarantee a booster would have paid him a pretty penny to stay.
He's got
for a little longer.
Yeah, he's got some cash.
If he was some sort of like social media guy as well, had some sort of marketing ploy to him, there's money there.
Yeah, there is.
If he really wanted to play college golf and stay at the boys for a little longer, it's not like he's missing the tour card. And he gets to play in the Open because he won the U.S. Amateur.
Yeah, but then you're not collecting any cash, though. You stay an amateur.
Yeah, but you're getting paid from NIL. I would go pro. Very clear that you should go pro, and I'm glad he is because that's the right decision.
Yeah, because how big is that NIL money really going to be?
Couple mil? Could be.
Really?
Sponsorships with that?
I don't know if it would give. I would love to see it. Hopefully we see an offer.
Well, does he win he gets to collect the money he won now too, correct? Because now he's a professional?
I don't think so because he was still a registered amateur.
That's really unfortunate.
I feel weird saying that, but I thought I saw that somewhere.
That makes sense.
Because that was my first thought. I'm like, oh my God, this man just won 1.5 milli. Just a bag thrown his way.
Well, now
at
he
20
gets.
years
now
old.
he basically, if he plays somewhat decently for the rest of the season, maybe he makes 2 more cuts. He pretty much gets to keep his tour card, right?
He gets his tour card through the 2026 season.
Okay.
With that win, he secured his PGA Tour card for this year and the 2 years after that. So it's again
Crazy.
with that, like now knowing that he's got essentially three full seasons of his tour card. That's enough of a reason for me to turn pro if I were him.
Yeah, I'm saying see you, boys.
I'm out.
Sad to see it. I'm gonna go play go play the waste management.
Yeah. He pulled out of the farmer's insurance because he's like, all right, hold on. I got to get my life in order here. I'm turning pro.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. I think pulling out of the farmers
why rush into it?
Yeah, you got to go home. You got to talk to your family, maybe celebrate a little bit. You just changed your life.
Yeah, guaranteed on the tour for 3 years. You're gonna be making a few milli because you're gonna be.
I'm sure he's got to talk to club sponsors now. He probably had to go find a very good agent who's going to be his full-time caddy.
Maybe go pop on over to Live, see what they're gonna offer me.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. So the Nick Dunlop also has a mind coach, like we were talking about briefly. I think it's really important for any professional athlete at that level having a mind coach now, whether the team provides it or you seek it on your own. If you're trying to get to the next level, I think it only helps. The way these people are teaching now sports, it's such a more open dialogue about having performance anxiety that it used to be, where it was like a no, you didn't have that killer instinct if you did talk about it. I think it's great. But
it's really shedding some light. And it gives the player more power because it's like it's okay to feel that here's how we can put X, Y, and Z in place to overcome it type thing, and it's great,
right?
And for those of you guys who haven't seen and are big golf fans, because we're big golf fans here on the pod, go do yourself a favor and watch the interview after he won the golf tournament on 18, and just listen to him talk. Because he had a good 5 to 7 minute interview.
Right.
20 years old. And I thought, where the hell was I when I was 20 years old? And I got stuck a microphone in front of me at 20 in college like that. But I wouldn't be in college. I'd be playing on a professional tour event. How would I handle that situation? The man was so poised and spoke with such confidence, but just a weird grace about him as well.
Right.
It was so, and clearly
said the right things, said what he needed to say.
And it's clearly
nothing dumb.
Yeah, and it's clearly because of the sports psychology and dealing with media and all of that kind of stuff that these guys are just trained to just almost be it's weird, robotic in a sense, but they're just so well spoken because you're like, there's no way this guy is 20 years old, shouldn't be this mature.
Right. I mean, it's funny because the sport does grow you up very fast. That the sport requires and demands a level of maturity, and unfortunately, at a certain level of class, you have to carry yourself at, which I do think turned a lot of people away. But you have to. It's just what it is.
Yeah, or you can just be the John Daly of the world, though.
Yeah, but I mean, John Daly did carry himself on around his group.
Oh, yeah.
With maturity and, handled the sport the way it's supposed to be handled.
For sure.
I mean, maybe not the most classy guy in the whole world, but there's very few and far between John Daly's on the tour.
Sure.
Than there are, whatever Justin Thomas's. It was just awesome to see. Now, something bad about golf here, the events and going on to live. The events themselves, the PGA Tour, hard to plan. Right? Like, who are we trying to see? Where do we need to go? You started doing a really great job at looking at the course map and realizing, okay, if we want to follow this group, we get out to hole 4. There's no concessions at anywhere from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
and
until
onward.
we get to 9.
Right.
Maybe some bathrooms in between there, but who knows? But we don't know if there's any concessions out in the boonies. And when you're with, other people who maybe aren't into golf as you are, like walking that many holes in a day can be tough.
It's a lot of walking.
And you're like, what are we watching? And you also have amateurs playing with these professionals.
Yeah, the pro-am
on
was
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, the pro-am was tough.
Like, it's tough to watch these amateurs. Not because, wow, what a cool experience they get to go do that. One, they are truly amateurs. Some of them were sticks, but most of them were amateurs.
They're not like Nick Dunlops out there.
No, they're like genuinely paid to be in the tournament. They weren't invited. Blah, blah, blah.
It's you and I.
Right.
Could
It's
go and
me
do
and
that.
you with a handicap go and play this tournament. And the problem is all these people also have to stop and watch you hit.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be a new rule where if the amateur's hitting, walking and talking is completely okay.
Yeah, they're like yelling at us to stop moving and stop talking. And I'm like, I totally forgot that these guys, I mean, it's no offense because we're there. We're clearly there to watch the professionals.
Right.
Just tough to keep track of everyone. There's 4 players.
Yeah, it's like, bro,
they're all over
the tee box, and this guy is nowhere close to me. And if he's out here and I'm in danger of getting hit while walking, I'd rather be walking than standing still with the ball hurling at me. So at least I'm in the move on it. It's just so annoying when you're ready to get back home, or you're trying to grab a hot dog, or you want to grab a beer, or you're doing something, and everyone's like, wait. It's like, what? The pros are waiting, and it's like, oh, this pro, and he Barneys it, and he walks not that far, and you have to wait for him again, and he Barneys it again, and you're just like, okay, man, that's the tough part. The concessions at the
tough, man,
tough,
bad,
shitty food, drinks were extremely expensive.
Thank God for the
no options.
Thank God for the Michelob tent.
Wow, the Michelob tent.
That was at all time for Sunday.
Yeah, the Michelob tent was just birdies and beers. So beers were half off on a birdie.
More because they were selling them at $14 and they were $6. So they were $8 off.
That's pretty intense because every time a birdie would happen on the hardest hole on the course, by average,
Alcatraz.
Yep. It's just like 160 yard par 3.
Yeah, a little island
surrounded by water.
Yeah,
straight into the wind.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. There's no doubt it's into the wind.
I was surprised how many pros threw it in the drink.
It's a very intimidating hole.
That's what I was honestly surprised about.
Right.
It was, how many water balls did we see? Well, we weren't even on 17 for that long. I mean, 6 out of the maybe 20, 25 golfers.
Long, left, rocks.
Shank. I shot a shank. 20 yards right into the water, basically.
Wow. I mean, I was probably running into the line. So it's funny because you wait for a birdie to happen, right? But you kind of got to shade towards the bar because it's only good for 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Right when the birdie hit, everyone run to the line. And you only order beer at that moment. You don't get to do any cocktails. You get beer and you get out quick.
Oh, people are screaming behind you for getting a cocktail.
Right.
No
beer
way.
And out, beer and out, beer and out. Because you can get a cocktail whenever.
It was also really fun because the guys that were pouring out the beers, getting them all ready, they were wheeling and dealing, baby. They were working for them tips.
They liked it.
They loved it. They knew exactly what you were there for. Every person's getting 2 beers, and you better have a tap and your card's out and ready. Get out.
Yeah, get the card ready. How many beers? So that was, other than that, I mean, great time. Another bad thing about golf here is Liv got another great player in Terrell Hatton, another huge personality.
Yeah.
Maybe not a top golfer on the PGA Tour, but he's up there.
I'm not bummed about it, to be honest with you, though.
I mean, I liked watching Terrell Hatton. He fits Liv so perfectly. I thought he was one of the guys to go first.
I thought so. I mean, he's, English. He's got that like lax-ish like vibe about him, but he cares, but
and he's got a crazy fire and heat and passion for the game.
You seem like you'd be a good team guy.
Yeah, it's just also I'm gonna watch the February tournament strictly because it's the Las Vegas Country Club.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Yeah,
that's right. That's in February.
I want to see how it's gonna play out because that's secretly one of my top 5 courses.
Ain't no secret, baby.
I'm hoping they don't blow. I hope they don't blow the secret because right now it's a hell of a deal to go play that country club.
Yeah, well, it's Liv. They don't really get that many viewers.
Yeah, that's true. And they're probably all dumb. They wouldn't figure it out. I'm just joking. It was, it's a bummer. Just at this point, it's just killing golf. Not just Live, but PGA Tour itself as well. It's just you gotta loosen it up now. There's no option. If you lose another big name, unfortunately, it's probably gonna happen. Someone who's really gonna pull some crazy weight, like a Rahm. Like if you lose like a Scotty or a Victor Hovland, which has been rumored already.
Oh. That would kill me to lose Victor Hovland. Oh, that'd be such a bummer.
Those are names that would really pull weight. And if that's the case, you're just going to have to let people be invited to Live. Not everyone gets to play Live, but everyone can play PGA Tour.
You got to have that. You have to have the best players show up. Have to.
Right. And then everyone can play PGA Tour events, and there's a certain amount of numbers you have to play at the PGA Tour. And if you're invited to Live, you have to play all Live events because not everyone can go to Live because they can't have 400 teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a certain number of teams they want to fill in positions. So you have to be invited to Live, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's just, the best players need to come back. It sucks that,
I don't even know what happened with the deal with Monahan. I had no clue.
It wasn't getting done, and it was supposed to be done before the start of the season, but they both agreed that it could be extended now because it wasn't getting finalized and whatever is happening in the background, which I assume we'll get an answer sooner than later.
It looks like Monahan's a real asshole now.
I think he retired. I think he quit.
He stepped down,
got
right?
Fired or something happened.
He looks like a real asshole right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do, man. That's so tough in his position.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
Like you're going against a monster.
You're playing the cards that you currently have in your hand at that time. And what he did were play the right cards at the time. But he just looks
foolish.
Yeah, he did.
I think the whole PGA Tour should feel ashamed of what they did because if it's really about money in the PGA Tour, it happens to be sitting on a decent amount of money, and they're being selfish for all these years, not paying back the players for whatever.
Yeah. It's like there it is.
I mean, that's tough, but also if the PGA Tour had all this money, why are they letting it happen?
Yeah.
Right. I would assume the PGA Tour is just sitting on racks of cash.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't think so either.
It's it's like self-funded, right? Like they don't.
Yeah,
really...
but if you listen to Phil and all the other people, they all tell you how it's all BS and they're funded in certain different ways.
I'm sure
it's all smoke and mirrors, and they're making hand over fist, and the PGA Tour players are getting nickels and dimes. But
don't you wish that you just had clarity to all that shit?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point we'll watch a documentary 5 years from now. It's like how Live actually and PGA Tour actually became. But
that'd be fun.
Also, when's money enough, man?
For real though.
I was watching this PGA Tour event. I'm in Palm Springs, which is possibly like one of my favorite places on earth.
Yeah, it's great. It really makes me want to think about moving out there.
Long Beach is number one for me, my favorite place on earth to live at. It's cemented, stamped. I went to Long Beach actually Sunday.
Oh, nice.
and drove past all of our old places. As soon as I got off on Palos Verdes, smile on my face.
Yeah.
A beaming smile.
It's got that vibe about it, dude. It's laid back and it's real.
It just feels so real. And it feels like, you see all different types of people and cultures and wealth levels and blah, blah, blah. And you don't feel like you're in a rat race, but it's visible and you're not feeling like you're getting crushed. Where sometimes in Orange County, it's like, that's a $1.5 million house. It's a $1.2 million house.
Yeah.
There's like no sort of like discrepancy in what I'm watching or seeing.
For sure.
We're in Long Beach. It's also where I've, spent some of the best years of my life in college and with my friends and all that stuff. So it just has a special place. Yeah. Now Palm Springs, on the other hand,
it's got a lot going for it, dude. It screams mid-30s for me.
Screams like ready to start a young family.
Yeah.
Have a house that's, bigger. Hobbies become limited, but the hobbies you want to have are always outdoor based, basically, because you're going to be inside. And, all the hobbies you possibly can want out there, they're there. Shooting, archery, like whatever.
Yeah. Well, and you can also do all the indoor sports too.
Right.
The one sport you probably wouldn't do is soccer, and that's okay.
I'm not playing soccer. I bet you.
I'm saying like for kids, if you're like gonna start them up, like
I bet you they have indoor soccer for kids
for sure.
I'm sure they have
basketball, gyms,
volley, premier golf teams and leagues and coaches.
Yeah.
Tennis.
Real estate is like cheap out there. Tennis would be great.
Cheap, and we're talking cheap in California being like $550.
Now let me tell you, because your boy right over here is on the hunt for a home right now, and it is.
Yeah, you get battered and bruised in that process.
Yeah, that's to say the least. We could sum it up right there, and
the real estate out here in California is a very much a now you see it, now you don't vibe.
Yeah, dude.
You have to just be willing to throw a bag at it, hope it lands, and know that your life's going to suck for a couple of years.
Yeah. I'm about ready to sign my life away.
Yeah. And you know what? It's great. Once you do it, and I'm sure once you get over that hump and that wealth starts to build, because, that's how it all works.
Right.
That's how they tell you it works. It makes it easier. But you can do the same thing in Palm Springs for a house that's $575, $100,000 less, probably more renovated, probably in a nicer area.
Brand new. Private community. It doesn't even need to be private, but it's gated, super nice amenities, new builds. They look great. You don't have any of these like weird like layouts of homes. You know how you get like you look at some of these places and you walk in, you're like, why did they do anything like this?
Right. You walk into the kitchen from the front door.
This makes no sense.
You walk through the kitchen, then it's your first bedroom with no bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms upstairs. Both your closets are upstairs.
And they're tiny.
They're tiny.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's like, it's a Hobbit. There's no backyard. It's like, okay, this house is about $610,000. Hasn't been renovated. It's 2 bed, 2 bath. One of the bathrooms don't work.
Non-central air, built in 1972. And the HOA is going to be $525.
And there's no backyard.
What do you mean?
Detached garage. And in a bad neighborhood.
What?
Right. Like, it's not like you're buying something. You're like, oh, I can really see the value in this house.
That was the biggest shock to me. When we would go and look at a home that was in the 550 range. And it's not like a knock to those people that own those homes. It's more about, wow, I just thought $550,000 was going to get me way more than this.
Yeah.
When you think about $550,000, that's a lot of cash, dog.
You know what's really sad? Go do a little quick Zillow look of Palm Springs. When that's only 2 hours away.
Hour and a half, no traffic.
Hour and a half, no traffic. That's essentially outskirts of Riverside.
Beautiful.
And
downtown Palm Springs is hopping.
Great bar scene, great coffee scene. Awesome. Like we were all
good
talking,
restaurants.
Right.
Good enough.
And you can, good enough. Good enough for me to save $100,000.
Yeah. Or 2?
Yeah.
Save $200,000 and get a home that's the same kind of what you got, and you're paying Instead of $550, you're paying $350, and your
Yeah.
mortgage is like $2,200.
And you're just, you can afford a country club membership. Your wife probably doesn't have to work very much anymore. Maybe it's just something rolling off.
You can also just renovate the fuck out of your house too at $350 and make it look amazing.
And guess what? You don't have to live there forever.
No.
Build some wealth. Maybe you're over it. Maybe it's time to get back home a little bit. Then you move. But yeah, man, there's something special about Palm Circuit. And also my favorite part, the amount of people there. I mean, 3/4 of them are chopped. Like you were dealing with almost no people out there.
We walked into a Trader Joe's because we did some of our shopping, and we both looked at each
Friday
other.
night at like 6:30.
Kind of like prime time right after work for like the weekend. We had lots of football, lots of stuff being happening in the weekend.
The next day.
Right. Nobody ghost town.
A golf tournament's happening.
Yeah, in the town.
In the town.
And that's why people are also like, oh, you guys are here for the golf tournament. A lot of people are here for the golf tournament. Like,
where
are your people? Where are these people?
Like, I didn't see anyone we walked. We had a beautiful Trader Joe's. Now, like, found easy parking, like, walked right in. Nobody was in there.
Nobody.
And it was
ghost town.
Fully stocked.
You would be so hard pressed to find a TJ's. I will say anytime during the day. Anytime over here. When it opens to when it closes, way more crowded than the Palm Springs Trader Joe's
You
that
have to
we
go
walked
like
in.
a Tuesday at like 10 o'clock to catch a break.
But it's got some people in it still.
Right. It was empty.
We knocked out our grocery shopping in like 40 minutes. We grabbed everything we needed for the whole weekend in like 40 and planned a whole meal. And groceries list was great. Charcuterie board. You know, Katie did a great job getting like the non-perishables, but like we got a lot of stuff in like 40 minutes. Went to 2 stores, took 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty fire.
It was nice.
Food and having fun. It was a great little 30th, bud. Let's let the people go here. This YouTube video is coming up shortly. Like, comment, subscribe, especially on the YouTube video. We will be posting that hopefully within the next week or two.
Go ahead and comment. Tell us we're dumb.
Yeah, tell us where we're messing up things. Maybe have a tracker about how many things I say wrong and we don't remember names.
That was going to be my little credit.
Yeah.
Think about the amount of times that we reference a name and then I'm putting you on an island.
Yeah,
putting
you on an island, baby. We're on Podbean, in the Cabbage Pod. You got anything for the people here, buddy?
That's a wrap, baby.
That's a wrap. I always forget my outro, and I'm going to need your help here. I'm going to let you do the outro.
Are you really going to put me on the spot like that and leave me on the island?
Yep.
Well, you're going to be following us here pretty shortly. Let us know in the comments because we're in the Cabbage and we're not going anywhere. And just a reminder, keep swinging.
There he is.